Are you looking for a great gift for your favorite family historian or genealogist, or, well, maybe even for yourself? Whether it's for the holidays, a birthday, graduation, whatever the event is, and maybe even for yourself. Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to talk about that today in this episode of Road to Your Family History. Hi, fellow roadie. Thank you so much for joining me again. This is good. This is always a fun thing for me to do every year. I want to tell you about my favorite things that I think you should get for your favorite family historian or genealogist, or maybe even for yourself. Now, you may have a loved one who's a genealogist or family historian, but you have no idea what to get them. Well, then this video is going to be extra special. And if you're a genealogist who maybe wants to give a hint to someone on a gift they can get you, send them toward this video and they'll get all the information they need. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, we're going to start with books because, boy, genealogists love books, don't we? Hey, the first one I'm going to talk about really is an essential book for any genealogist bookshelf. Now, I don't use that term essential lightly because there's not very many that I consider essential, but this one is. It's called Evidence Explained. You see it right here. I've got the hard copy of it. Evidence Explained. Now, why is this essential? Because every genealogist needs to document their sources. And this book makes it fun, right? No, come on, let's get serious. Nobody enjoys documenting their sources. I don't know, there might be someone out there that does, but this shows you how to do it. I think a big reason why a lot of people don't enjoy doing it is because they're not sure how to do it. Well, this book will explain exactly how to do that. It's not a small book. It's, I don't know, 600 some pages. You can see how thick it is. Boy, oh boy, this will tell a genealogist everything they need to know. Now, why can't they just get something like the Chicago Manual of Style or something like that, which also tells you how to document your sources? Because the Chicago Manual of Style doesn't have information for all the things that are unique to genealogy, like maybe death certificates or census records and many, many, many more. Plus, it's more than just a guide for saying how to document your sources. It also, at the beginning, has a very good and thorough explanation of how to document your evidence and ways that you can do that. It's, believe me, like I said, it's one of the ones that I think is essential for every genealogist. And you can find a link to it down below. If you use my links, I will get a small commission in most cases, but you will pay nothing extra because of that. It'll just help me be able to put out more free information like this. Okay, so let me pull up. Let's see, what is next? That is a book called Generation by Generation by Drew Smith. Just like Evidence Explained, both these books were published just this year. So they're pretty new books. So you got fresh information there. By the way, the Evidence Explained one is the fourth edition. So they've been working on that. Generation by Generation it's supposedly for a new genealogist, but it doesn't have to be for a new genealogist, because I looked through it. I've been doing genealogy for now, well, boy, it's been at least 40 years. And I read through it, and there's some things that I was not aware of, or things that maybe I'd heard about, but I never read anything about them. So he gives a good explanation of that. So this is especially good for a new genealogist, or for people who want to review what they know about genealogy that they might not have heard about or don't know about, because things are always changing. I've said this time and time again. Even though I've done this for 40 years, it doesn't mean I know everything, because things change all the time in, well, a lot of things, not just genealogy. So I like to keep up to date on what's going on in genealogy. And some of the things, like I said, that Drew Smith talks about in this book, I have not heard about. So check that book out too. I wouldn't call this an essential one, but close. Essential for a new genealogist or one who hasn't been doing genealogy very long. So check that one out. Okay, what have we got next here? Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is another great book to have. Guide to DNA Testing. Boy, this can be tough. Understanding DNA and DNA testing and genetic genealogy, this can really get people wrapped around the axle. Boy, oh boy. Uh, I don't, I don't understand a whole lot of it, but what I do understand of it is because of this book. I mean, it goes into some depth, but it goes step by step so that you understand the different types of DNA testing and how it can help you find your family history. I'll say this once and I'll say it again. DNA is not a silver bullet. It's only one tool in your arsenal. You still have to do the research, because DNA just won't give you all the information that you need. It won't give you your whole family history, but it's a useful thing to have. And you should get tested. Absolutely. Okay, so what do we have next? We have The Family Photo Detective. This is a good book because it gives you, if you have inherited old photos, and if you are known in the family as the family historian or genealogist, you will probably accumulate a lot of photos. Some of them old photos, and you don't know maybe who all is in them. You should try to find out as soon as possible by going to the people who might have some idea who they are. But sometimes, those people are just gone. I mean, I'm in my mid 60s, so my parents and grandparents are long gone. So I can't really go to them to ask them who these different people are in these old photos that I have inherited. But this book will help you determine, at least around when these photos were taken, and tells you how to find the hints in these old photos. It's really good. So check this out. Now, what do we have in here next? I think it's all the books. It is uh, a scanner. A scanner, I think, is essential for a family historian, because all those old photos you've inherited. You need to scan them to make them digital, because those family photos, there's so many ways they can get ruined or lost, damaged by water, humidity, any number of things. And when you scan them too, you can easily share these photos with other family members, cousins, brothers and sisters, you name it, whoever you want to share them with. Well, then you've got a digital copy of them, nice and safe, kept on the cloud, right? That's the way to do it. But listen, let me give you some advice here. Don't get. I like this Epson scanner. This one here, which you'll see listed down below in the description, I have an earlier model of this, and I really, really enjoy that. It's a reasonable price, but it does a very, very good job. But whatever you do, don't get one of these photo scanners that are smaller and that you feed the photos into them and it grabs it and takes it in and scans it. Please don't get those, because those type of photo scanners can end up damaging your photos if it gets caught in the rollers, or There's just too many things that could go wrong with that. So get this a flatbed scanner, like this Epson scanner that I have a link to down below, because I think this is the best way to go. Like I said, this one is reasonably priced and it works very well. So what do we got coming up next year? Okay, if you want to do uh, videos for your relatives, like I'm doing some videos for my daughter, just to tell her about the family history. Or even if you just want to get on Zoom or something like that to talk to relatives, you need a better microphone than the one that's built into your desktop or laptop computer. You really, really do, because it would just sound so much better. So I suggest this Blue Yeti microphone. This is what I use for a lot of stuff. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's sitting right here. It's not the one I'm using now. I'm using this one. But this one's more expensive, and you probably don't need one of those. If you want to know what it is, I will certainly let you know. But this Blue Yeti is a very popular microphone used by a lot of podcasters, actually. But this is a great one to use. This is a great one for you to use if you're doing videos for your loved ones or just talking to them on Zoom. Now, what else do you need? Well, I think you need a webcam, because once again, you can use the camera that's built into your desktop, if your desktop even has one, or your laptop. You can use that, but it's not ideal. Using an external webcam like this LogiTech webcam, which I have, which I'm using right now, is much better than the built-in one. Believe me, it'll be much better with the external microphone, external camera. Your videos or your just live discussions on Zoom or whatever will look and sound so much better. Okay, next up is a audio recorder, digital audio recorder. This one is a Tascam, just like the scanner. I have an earlier version of the one that's shown in this photo. I really enjoy this, and I tell this story in my. I have a series on interviewing your relatives for family history, and I'll link that down below in the description too. I was interviewing two of my aunts several years ago. I was using a cassette tape recorder, which was, the thing to use back then. And I didn't want to use the built-in microphone because I wanted to catch the audio better than that internal microphone would. So I got a little external microphone and I plugged it in and I interviewed my two aunts. It was a fantastic interview. I even had to flip the cassette over at one point to continue it. So it was, I guess, about an hour and a half or so, something like that. Great information and a great record to be able to hear their voices, right? So this was not in my immediate area. They were still in the Pittsburgh area where I grew up. I lived about 3 hours away. So I was just making a visit to that area anyway, and I asked them, says, hey, you want to get together? And can I ask you some questions about the family history? And he says, oh, yeah, sure. They'd love to do that. Fantastic. It was a fantastic discussion. But I didn't know till I got home. The thing is, with those cassette recorders, which they're still out there, but I suggest you don't use them, is when you plug an external microphone in, when you plug it in, you have to make sure it is all the way in. In my case, it was plugged in just enough to silence the built-in microphone, but not plugged in enough for that external microphone to work. So I had an hour and a half worth of silence, nothing. So that was horrible, and they were pretty elderly, so By the time I was able to make a trip back up there again to the Pittsburgh area, it was too late. They were either deceased or very sick by that time. So anyway, get this digital audio recorder, which you don't have to worry about the external microphone. There's microphones built into it. Matter of fact, it has a meter on it that shows if the audio is working. It shows how the audio is working. Fantastic thing. And you can transfer the audio very easily into your computer, whether it's desktop, laptop, doesn't matter. So that's a great thing to have. Now, these last two are gifts that are always fun. It shows your interest in genealogy. Yeah, it's just a t-shirt. Okay, genealogy begins as an interest, evolves into a hobby, becomes an obsession. Know the dangers. It's humorous, but it's kind of true too. So, hey, if you want to show your love of genealogy or for your favorite genealogist, this would be a great present for them to have. Once again, the link is below. Another fun one is a mug. Genealogy, it's all about family. Very basic. That's what it all comes down to, doesn't it? This has the graphic on the front and the back. It comes in, you can get it, there's two different sizes. I believe it's 11 ounces and 14 or 15, maybe 15 ounces. And it comes in a few different colors. You see green here. I think it also comes in red, blue, and black. I don't know, there may be one or two other colors. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to have. So they can have their morning coffee or their cup of tea right in there. So, hey, that's what I have for you for this year. Now, I may be doing more detailed reviews of a couple of these things, like the Evidence Explained book, the Generation by Generation book, and maybe one or two other things. They're not available yet as of this recording, but depends when you're watching this recording. I may have done the review, the more extensive review, and posted it online. So check it out. I might even put a link to it down below if I have done that. So check it out. See if that is there if you want to get more information about those things. So, hey, that's what I think you should get your favorite genealogist or family historian, or maybe for yourself. I think this would be great for any genealogist. So, hey, take care, and I'll see you next time on the road to your family history.